Hey everybody, today we are talking about Banana Yoshimoto's Kitchen and its movie adaptations. So I actually found two adaptations of this. There are two movies. One of them is from 1989 and the other is from 1997. What's interesting about the 1997 one is it is made in Hong Kong, and so a lot of the things of that are have been changed from the original. So let's back up and talk about 1989's version, and then we'll talk about 1997 one briefly. So Kitchen from 1989. This one, here's some things that I liked. They had the same names for the characters. They followed the story up to a point quite well. The opening scene of it is really good. She's lying down on the floor and everything around her is dark except for the refrigerator, which is right next to her, and she's sleeping in there. And that is how the book basically opens. It talks about how she can't sleep after her grandma's passed, and the best way she feels like comfort and everything from that is by being in the kitchen. She cares about kitchens, she feels good in them, she likes what they bring to people, and so she felt better being in the kitchen. So when she can't sleep, she would just get up and go lie down next to the fridge. And so I liked how the movie opened up with that. I liked how the relationships were with all the characters. There were some sweet moments in it, and that's it, probably. So now let me tell you about things that I didn't like from it. The actress that plays Mikage, she seems just way too happy. Like, she doesn't seem like she's going through the grief as much as in the book. Like, she moves out pretty quickly to go live with Yoichi, and they get introduced. She gets introduced really quickly to his mom, Eriko, and like everything seems like it's going really well, and until the reveal of his mom being transgender and the fact that his mom used to be his dad. I feel like they didn't she didn't take it very seriously. Like, when she kind of took it as a joke. Like, she accepted it, but then she kind of joked about it later. She talked to, I think she was meeting her like ex, I think that's who it was supposed to be. Like, she met with them and they were like catching up on how their lives were, and she mentioned how I'm pretty sure she said she's gonna be living with two guys. She doesn't say that she's living with, a man and a woman. She, like, right away, she doesn't really seem to be respecting the family that she's going to be living with. They didn't really linger on it for very long after that. Like, everything was fine. She was kind to Eriko. She wasn't acting disrespectfully towards them when she was, living at their house and all of that. It's just like that one comment, the way she said it to her friend, I was just like, okay. But in the book, she seemed a lot more accepting of it and like didn't really question it. She just was kind of like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, she's so beautiful. I never would have thought that. And like, she was curious in the book. She was asking follow-up questions and things like that to try to understand more, but she wasn't so jokey about it, I feel like, in the book versus in the movie. And then like the part that I was the most annoyed with, because I was like, maybe this is okay, is they completely changed the ending of the book. So, I mean, if you haven't read this at this point or seen this movie, then I'm gonna be spoiling the ending of both of them right now, okay? So just be warned. They're supposed to kill off a character is supposed to die in the book. A very important character dies. And in the movie, she does not die. She lives, and there is not even a confrontation whatsoever. There's something happens to where she goes to like live in a mental hospital for a little bit, because she's like, oh, when I feel depressed about things, I just come here and they take good care of me, and I know that I could leave anytime I want, that I don't actually need to be here, but sometimes this is easier for me when I just need to get away or whatever. And so but then she like comes back home And if I'm remembering this adaptation correctly, she starts becoming really close with someone and they're gonna like move in together and live together. Yeah, I think it's her like doctor actually, like ends up quitting being a doctor and is gonna like move in with them and then everything's gonna be fine. um but I was like, really? And then like at the end, Mikage and Yuichi go and like they live together themselves, like they go move out to get a place. And like in the book, I feel like it was implied that those two were probably gonna try being in a relationship because they've shared all this time together, and what they went through after everything in the book, they like feel like they need each other more and that they can help each other more. And so I think it's insinuating like they probably will end up together, but they're not like already 100% like boyfriend girlfriend. And in here it was like they were like, oh yeah, we'll just go live together and you guys can live here and stay in your house and then we'll go live over here, and it's a big happy ending. So if you really want a movie that is going to show something different than what the actual book was, like the whole point of the book was grief, and this adaptation has so little of it. Like I feel like she gets over her grandma passing way quickly in the movie. She moves on real quickly. She starts working on being a cook, has all these opportunities to like go and become a chef and learn how to like be a chef assistant and things like that and thrive in that way. And then she doesn't have to go through grief after that because no one else dies, but someone is supposed to die so that she can have to deal with more grief. Like that's the whole point of the book, is dealing with grief and loss and how to come together with people close to you to like overcome that and like in a healthy way. And like you just don't get that from the movie because it's just a happy ending for the movie. So if you want an alternative ending, then watch the movie and you will get it for sure. Now, the 1997 version is very different in terms of the other movie. So comparing these two movies together, in this one, their names are Louie and Aggie. So Aggie, and it's not even in Aggie's perspective like the book is. It's in Mikage's. It's in the female perspective. In this one, it's in Louie's perspective. And so because of that, he is like narrating sometimes about how he feels about things, and he's like a ladies man, like getting with all the ladies, and he's a hairdresser, and Aggie ends up moving in with them just like the book and everything, and she actually is very much devastated and grieving and not even talking to anyone after her grandma passes. That part they did get closer to the book because you could tell she was very grief stricken. But then once she snaps out of it, she seems so whimsical and funny and carefree and silly and stuff like that, where I feel like she also didn't really feel like Mikage. She didn't really feel like the book character in terms of personality that I thought I was going to be seeing portrayed. Like I had high hopes at the beginning, but then once she gets happy again, she's like too happy. And then makes all these like interesting choices to be closer to Louis. When again, that's not really what we get in the book, like in that kind of a way and at that kind of a pace. And they also changed the name of Eriko to like Emma. And so none of the names are the same. And in this adaptation, they do actually get closer to the actual plot of the book and the way that the book goes. Like they do kill off the character that is killed off in the book, like they should have. They stayed true to that, and so then we were able to see that. But because it's in the perspective of Louis, we see his grief more than we see how it affects Mikage. And she does say like, oh, why didn't you tell me so I could go to the funeral? Why didn't you let me know that this happened? Because at this point she'd moved out and she wasn't living with them anymore, so she found out a lot later on that what had happened. And she was like trying to talk to Louis and be like, you should have told me and I would have been here for you. Like she was like a mother to me too. We do get that part that's very, very similar to the book. Though, same thing happens in this one where when he tries to tell her, oh, my mom used to be my dad, and my now he's my mom, and like whenever he was trying to explain that and stuff, Aggie was like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? Are you playing a joke? What? This doesn't make any sense. Wait, explain it to me again. And she was also kind of joking around, but more so in this film. She was joking around a lot, and then when she found out that he was being serious, he like goes and gets photos, and he's like, look at all these old photos. That's my mom right there, and that's my other mom, my now mom. And she was like, no. And then she like goes crazy and she like screams into a pillow and she's like, I can't believe it, what? And I'm just like, this is probably why Louis did not really want to tell you right away, because he was worried you were gonna freak out like this. And I think he ends up just leaving, and like she obviously gets over it and accepts it and she's fine later, but just the reaction of it where she just went all psycho, I'm just like, that's not how she reacted in the book. Did I read that part wrong in the book? Because I'm pretty sure she did not act that crazy. She was like a lot more accepting. I'd love to see them do another try at this and just be closer to the characters in the book and like do it the way that it was written, like be more closely true to the book, because I just feel like both of these they were like both close in certain things, and then they went off the rails in other ways, or they changed too many things that it's like this doesn't even feel like, the only thing that feels the same is like that we have this transgender character and that we have kitchen and like a kitchen vibe and like cooking involved, and like, but a lot of things are just so different that it feels a little bit like both of the films missed the mark for me. Like, I'm not gonna feel the need to ever watch them ever again. So yeah, so if you're curious and you want to watch them for yourself, then by all means go ahead. But I just think that now that I have watched them, that it's not, if you love the book, I just don't see how you could love the movie, either of them, because they really are just their own thing. I feel like they just don't have enough of the same things. I do appreciate how much better the ending, like for the Hong Kong version, was a lot better and a lot closer to the book, but I just don't get, there's got to be a reason, but I just don't know why they feel the need to like change character names to not be the same as what they are in the books. Like, why change the names? Like, why bother doing that? And maybe it's because the names are Japanese and they were doing this movie in China, so maybe they felt like they needed to change them. But then why change them to like very American sounding names? Like, why not just give them Chinese names? Like, I don't know. But that's just how I felt about it. And the ending of the Hong Kong one does kind of start giving you the feeling of like how the ending of the book went. So I was very surprised, because when I started that one, I was like, there is no way this one is going to be better than the Japanese one. There's no way that it's going to like, I almost stopped, like the first 10 minutes, I was like, maybe I don't even want to watch this one at all. But then I kept watching it because I wanted to see if they killed off Emma like they were supposed to. And then when they did, it was a very dramatic scene, very dramatic, very intense. And the way she died was a little different than the way in the book. I like the way it happened in the book better, for sure. But I appreciate the fact that they even, like, at least they followed it closer than the other movie. So, yeah. But anyways, that was my opinions and feelings and thoughts on the adaptations that I found on Kitchen. If I'm missing one, if there's like another one out there that I didn't find, let me know, because I couldn't find any other ones besides those two. But yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.